All right, Rob, let's get into it. Shams Charania, one of the premier news breakers in the NBA, he was on the Pat McAfee show today, and regarding the Nets trades of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, here's what he had to say.
The Nets, they pick up TJ Warren today. They're making moves and they're doing things this offseason with, in their mind, the preparation and operation as if they're bringing these two guys back next season and playing with these two guys. Now, I think they're open in dialogue and they're open to teams like Toronto, Phoenix, Miami making offers. But until they get that price threshold met, which I'm told is all-star type players, a boatload of draft picks, they're not going to move. This is what they're telling teams. We're not going to move Kevin Durant until the price is met.
Yeah, Rob. And this morning I made some calls around the league, and I came to the same conclusion from talking to people. The Nets, even if Durant and Kyrie aren't there, they're not trying to go to the bottom. They're trying to be competitive next year. But as Shams said, the moves they're making, I mean, bringing in TJ Warren, bringing in Royce O'Neal, keeping Patty Mills and Nick Claxton, those are really productive role players around stars, right?
Yeah.
So to me, they're better.
They wouldn't bring those guys in if they were going to gut the roster, Chris.
No,
it wouldn't make any sense.
Absolutely. And so I'm told, like, they looked at the Utah trade and what they got for Rudy Gobert, which was 5 first-round picks and 5
and said,
players.
We get 10 for Durant.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, look, we're getting more picks than that, and they also want a young star or two. And so, Rob, when we talked about, I mean, as long as they have Ben Simmons on the roster, they can't have another, guy making his rookie contract extension. So that takes Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, all of these guys and more, Jason Tatum, off the board.
All off the table, yeah.
Like, you can't even and I'm sorry, a lot of the guys I would want if I'm the Nets are on that list.
Right. We saw that list.
Right. I look, if I'm the Nets, again, like I said yesterday, Robin, I've said a few times, sure, KD, we'll look. We'll consider it, but we're going to do what's best for the team. We think you're a great player. We think you're the best player in the league. And we think with you and Kyrie and Ben Simmons and the additions we've made as well as the guys we brought back, that we can win a championship. So we'll come to you if something, materializes and starts to make sense to us. But otherwise, get ready for training camp and let's go win a championship. Like, to me, that's what the conversation should be.
Right. It has to be that, Chris. There's no way that the Nets should just give away players of that caliber without feeling like they got what they deserve, and more, and feel good about it moving forward. It's not as if he's out of the picture or it's out of the question of making a move. That's not the issue. It's fair value. They're saying, hey, they're under contract. We could bring them back.
4 years.
Right.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, this notion that the Nets don't have leverage.
No, they have all the leverage.
All the leverage. Right.
All
Kevin
the leverage.
Durant and Kyrie Irving don't have leverage. Like, this whole notion Kyrie's going to force his way to L.A. How?
He can't. And then we'll talk about that as well. Jeannie Buss with her tweet, Chris, we'll get to that.
Right.
And it don't sound like they bending over backwards either. I know LeBron is interested, and sure he is because of the Westbrook fiasco. So,
right. They're desperate.
They're
That's
desperate.
why they're the one team that wants Kyrie.
Exactly.
They want Kyrie because they're desperate. It's really their only way of getting into even spitting distance of the Western
competing,
Conference Championship. Right.
And then getting rid of Westbrook, who Darvin Ham, recited the Bible for him, Chris, about how quickly is that over? Like, can we ask Darvin Ham, are you still going to rework Westbrook? It sounds like LeBron doesn't want him. I mean,
again, from some of the conversations I had earlier today, I came away feeling I don't think the Nets want Westbrook, which understandably, I mean, number one, I don't think they've even broached the idea with Durant, right? Like, would you even? I mean, they probably just assuming no, he doesn't want to play with him. And two, the only reason a team would want Russ is for him to excite the fans for 1 year, right? By maybe averaging a triple-double, and then you dump him after the season. The Nets don't need that.
They're not trying to do that, right?
Right. They got a salary dump, if that's what you want to call it, with Kyrie Irving.
Right.
It's a little less, but it's still a heavy one if he doesn't, and Kyrie has to play ball too.
Kyrie has to reestablish himself.
Value. Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's no doubt about any of that. I think you're spot on.
They feel confident too, and this is not taking Kevin Durant for granted, but they're saying, look, KD is a hooper. Like, KD just wants to play ball. Like, they can't fathom him sitting out a season a la Ben Simmons.
No.
And I'm telling you, Rob, this could be the best thing to happen to Kevin Durant if he's not traded, if Kyrie... And if I was Kevin Durant, I'd be working on Kyrie's mentality right now, if he's strong enough.
Right. And they might get to the point where they just say, right, there's nothing else we can do here. We can't do it. We can't get your value. You just saw what happened with Gobert, and they offered nothing for you. We can't do it.
Right.
We can't. Financially,
and then if
we
Simmons,
can't.
Rob, if Simmons is right mentally, forget improving. If he's just a player,
just being the player he used to be. Absolutely.
He created more 3-point buckets for his teammates than any other player outside of Russell Westbrook in the last 4 years.
Amazing.
Or the 4 seasons he played. So his drive and kick game with the shooters they have, come on. I mean, so look, Rob, sure, if Kevin Durant went to Golden State, they'd have a better chance of winning the championship. But obviously that's not a good look for him. And so there's not a place he can go, in my view, that gives him a better chance of winning the title than Brooklyn.
Right, than staying put. That's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't think it's as eminent as people had hoped. The writers who are jumping on it, and I get it. You want to be first. You want to put your stuff out there, but It really cool from that first day, Chris, where it looked like things were happening. It looks like it's quiet, and they're going to take their time. And if somebody steps up, there could be a deal. If nobody steps up, there might not be a deal. There we are.